Here are the topics that are going to be discussed during this presentation, and due to lack of time, I ask that you read the examples as I will go ahead and explain why each bullet is important throughout the slideshow. Here are the issues stemming from the merger. First, we have cultural unawareness. This is one area that might be causing high levels of stress among employees. Knowing the merger is recent, the environment may not be inclusive yet, and this would make interactions between the two sides seem intimidating. Next is the lack of effective communication. This may happen directly after a huge change, such as a merger, and would create low morale because if employees are not being communicated with, they may not understand their new roles or understand current factors. Next is the low diversity and inclusion. This merger is the resulting of combining two companies of different countries. Therefore, the diversity currently exists. It is the inclusion part that is lacking. If both parties are not unified, they will remain segregated, which will prevent positive work relationships from forming. And last is globalization. If the team is unprepared for the transition to globalization, they will be frustrated because without proper training and resources, tasks will feel extra challenging. Next, we have best practices that help create a unified culture. First, we have clear vision. Stating a vision helps employees know what they are working towards and the importance of each step. Training and company changes should emulate the elements included in the vision. Next, we have effective communication. According to Carol Harvey, in essence, the overall goal of successful communications in organizations is increased commerce, decreased conflict, better understanding, more personal growth through tolerance and less uncertainty, anxiety and fear of differences. Next, we have knowledge. Creating opportunities for employees to grow and gain knowledge will help create a more efficient team. And last, we have active support from leaders. Leaders demonstrate the expectation to the staff and encourage the desired change. Having an active model can show employees the desired change is applicable and that leadership believes in the values of these goals to the point that they will execute what is being asked of the workforce. This slide focuses on the change process, and the change process must be compatible with the needs of the organization. First, we have process intervention. This method focuses on the way groups perform tasks and looks for areas in need of improvement instead of changing the type of tasks the groups are given. This will help the company change because it will continue tasks that they are already familiar with but develop new ways that the two companies and teams can develop harmonious work routines. Next is technological interventions. Given the merger is a company embedded in technology, it is crucial that the platforms and equipment can be used efficiently by both sides. By examining the technology used, the company can find and establish where training might be needed or the purchase of new technology systems. Next, we have structural interventions. This will require additional training from both employees and managers and allow managers to take on more of a coaching role. Working towards independent teams will be beneficial to the company because it will build a faster reacting workforce and highly talented staff. And last is behavioral interventions. Behavioral interventions focus on building desired behaviors among employees. Leadership has the ability to direct desired behaviors by rewarding those behaviors that they want to continue. Here are several reasons why employees might resist change. First, we have the disruption of the comfort zone. The reason this causes resistance is it can disrupt the workflow pattern of other employees who are trying to apply the new procedures. Next, we have threat to security. The reason this causes resistance is employees want to maintain their current position and future with the company. They fear how the change will affect their ability to grow with the organization and thus want to prevent the change from happening. Next, we have the fear of the unknown. The reason this causes resistance is because even if people are not satisfied with their current position, it is predictable and they know what to expect. People become uncomfortable with their role and tasks once they become uncertain. Leadership can reduce the amount of this resistance by following some of these best practices. First is the vision. The reason this helps overcome resistance is it explains to employees why the change is needed and depicts the end goal. This should lessen confusion and enable employees to understand the necessity of the change being implemented. And next is communication. The reason communication helps reduce resistance is it opens the channels for concerns to be addressed and employees to be more informed. And last is support from leadership. The reason this can overcome resistance is by interacting with employees during stressful times, leaders will be able to demonstrate their willingness to actively support employees and get down on their level to help ease the process. Next, we have employee empowerment, which is a continuous process by which organizations implement techniques to engage and invest in employees with the goal of producing high-performing individuals. The following are methods for employee empowerment. First, we have the management style. This is an effective technique of employee empowerment when it's used correctly. It can enable employees to problem solve and take on additional responsibility, making them feel valued and taking ownership over their work. Next is the training and resources. This is important because it gives employees the tools they need to succeed in their positions. This is setting employees up for success and preparing them to take on new challenges. Delegation is also a good technique when used correctly. The reason this empowers employees is when managers delegate tasks to those who have been properly trained to carry them out, they feel empowered. This will give them a sense of accomplishment and keep them engaged. Next is the expression of confidence. This is an effective technique because when managers demonstrate the confidence in the ability of their staff, the staff will build on this energy and strive to meet, if not exceed, the expectation. And last is cross-learning. This provides employees with additional knowledge about the company and other departments, which gives them the ability to make decisions based on what will benefit the entire company or large portions instead of just themselves or their direct department. Workplace stress is a physical reaction to challenges an individual is experiencing. It adversely impacts organizations. According to author Donald Brown, job stress costs U.S. industry in absenteeism, diminished productivity, employee turnover, medical costs, and legal and insurance fees. So first we have lack of job security. For example, an employee might be extremely stressed because she knows the company is downsizing, and this can cause the employee to have high stress and either overperform or underperform. And next we have an excessively high workload. For example, an employee may be stressed since he is expected to complete a 12-hour construction project in 8 hours. This causes the employee to feel frustrated and overwhelmed. And next we have minimal responsibility. For example, an employee with 10 years of managerial experience will feel stress if they are given an entry-level position, and this will make the employee feel undervalued and therefore they might underperform. Next, we have poor working relationships. An employee may experience stress if they experience daily conflict with their team members, and this can cause employees to withdraw from other members. And last is lack of training and resources. An employee might feel stressed if they are confused about their tasks because they did not receive proper training on resources. This can cause employee high levels of frustration and unnecessary conflict. The following are best practices that we can use to decrease workplace stress. First is the increased authority. Giving employees additional responsibility is beneficial because it allows them to accept new challenges in a supportive atmosphere. Coaching management style. This is beneficial because it allows employees to drive the processes taken to achieve goals while receiving input from a superior on advice and recommendations. Next is the training on emotional intelligence. Training on emotional intelligence is beneficial because it informs employees how to manage their emotions at work, as well as providing them with understanding others' emotions as well. Next is the stress survey. Completing a survey will let employees know that leadership values their input. It will also provide leadership with the insight on where the majority of stress is originating and the levels of dissatisfaction that are present. And last is follow-up. After action is taken towards reducing a stressful work environment, follow-up is important. It will inform leaders if the actions taken were successful or if different approaches will be more effective. In order to achieve optimal organizational efficiency, leaders should strive to develop high-performing teams as well as embody principles found in a Systems 4 management model. The following includes some tools that can be implemented to help reach these results. We will first focus on developing high-performing teams. Starting with structure, teams need a solid structure to emphasize who the leader is and the other members' role and tasks within the group. Selecting the right leader and procedures is crucial. Next is shared vision. Teams need a shared vision because without it, their efforts might be going in different directions. This way, members will commit to the same overall goal, deadlines, and quality. And team development. Teams must be open to growth and seek continuous improvement in order to become the best versions. Total quality management is last. This ensures the goals of the team are aimed at excellent customer service and not just excellent quality in the product. Next, we have the systems for management principles. So supportive relationships is a recommendation because it will increase meaningful contact between leaders and employees while demonstrating support to staff. And next is removing barriers. This recommendation will help strip away barriers that keep employees and managers separate. This will be a beginning step towards treating everyone as equals. Empowering employees. This allows employees to have input in decisions that will affect the new company. Therefore, employees should embrace the new goals and procedures more willingly, knowing that they took a part in creating the new flow of things. This will make them feel empowered. And last is rewards. Leadership can set incentives for effective individuals and teamwork. This will encourage employees to work together and therefore foster an environment of high interaction between members. By rewarding individuals, employees will feel confident that their individual contributions are also valued. And this concludes the presentation. Thank you. Thank you.